We all know the feeling. You search for a simple household product, and the top results are a wall of sponsored junk. Or you open a social media app looking for friends, and instead, you're force-fed a stream of bizarre AI spam and advertisements. The historical rules of business were simple. A company that degraded its product this severely would lose its customers, see its revenue dry up, and eventually die. Yet the biggest tech platforms on Earth are posting record profits while actively making our lives worse. This decay is a structural, highly profitable strategy, a feature of the modern digital economy designed specifically to extract value. Author and digital rights activist Cory Doctorow gave this sudden onset platform collapse a very specific name. He calls it Enshittification. It is a deliberate, highly predictable four-stage business strategy used by tech monopolies to consolidate power. Analyzing this four-step playbook reveals exactly how we became trapped inside these digital enclosures and how we might eventually break out. Stage 1 involves luring the users. Early platforms burn through piles of investor cash to offer incredible below-cost deals, like the early days of ad-free social feeds or heavily subsidized two-day shipping. This relies on network effects, where a service becomes more valuable as people join. Soon the platform becomes a golden cage, locking your connections inside. Then Stage 2 begins. The platform seduces merchants and publishers, offering cheap access to that massive captive user base. By the end of this stage, users and businesses alike are effectively taken hostage by their mutual, inescapable dependence on the platform. Stage 3 is the squeeze. The platform turns the screws on its captive business customers to claw back every penny of surplus value for its executives and shareholders. Companies introduce unavoidable junk fees. On Amazon, a merchant might surrender 51 cents of every dollar earned just to pay for mandatory shipping and search placement. Surviving this margin compression means raising prices everywhere, creating a hidden tech tax across the entire internet. Stage 3 ultimately leaves users with an expensive, garbage-milled experience, while businesses go broke paying the platform's relentless tolls. In Stage 4, the platform becomes a decaying zombie. Twitter's chaotic transformation under Elon Musk is a textbook speedrun of this final phase, where value is extracted so rapidly that the service begins to fail. Millions remain on platforms they hate because of the collective action problem, the extreme difficulty of getting groups to move in unison, making a coordinated mass exit nearly impossible. The social cost of abandoning a community usually outweighs the daily frustration of a broken platform, keeping users trapped in place. This captive desperation is the only economic force keeping these zombie platforms shambling along long after market forces should have killed them. Platform decay is the result of human policy, not a law of physics. It happens because the historical guardrails that punished bad corporate behavior have been systematically dismantled. The first constraint to vanish was competition. Starting in the late 1970s and then accelerating through the Reagan administration, the government essentially stopped enforcing antitrust laws, allowing monopolies to simply buy out or crush their rivals. Next went interoperability, the ability for different computer systems to connect and communicate. Tech companies began building walled gardens, killing off the third-party tools that once allowed users to modify their own devices or migrate to rival services. Today, companies use physical and digital locks to ensure you only use approved accessories, like a printer that refuses to operate if you install a cheaper third-party ink cartridge. Without the threat of competition or the ability for users to build interoperable escape hatches, platforms face zero consequences for abusing their captured audience. We currently live in the Enshittification, but because this environment was created by specific policy choices, it is entirely reversible. Reclaiming the digital world now requires reviving robust antitrust enforcement, legally mandating interoperability, and restoring the market friction that stops monopolies from trapping users. The path to a better internet involves dismantling the legal traps that protect monopolies, replacing the false hope of a benevolent tech CEO with actual structural reform.